is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be creating this full glam for you today using mainly drugstore products or like stuff that you can find at Ulta, because you know you can find Morphe, you can find Jaclyn Hill, you can find Nabla. So yeah, I'm gonna be testing out all of these products for you in this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like these type of videos. First impressions, the holidays are literally around the corner, and I'm just trying to find some things for you to save a couple of bucks, because the holidays, they get really, you know, expensive. So I hope you guys like this look, and if you guys want to see how I created it and my thoughts on all of these new products that I'm trying, then just keep on watching. Alright, so the first shade that I'm going to be using from the Big Primpin palette is this one right here, which is Already. It's like a light pinky peach shade. The shade is pretty packed tightly, so I really had to go back and forth with this one to build. But this is how it looks. It's really pretty shade. So I'm using this all over the crease, kind of bring it up a little bit towards the brow bone, not all the way. I'm going to go in with my MB23 from Morphe just to further blend out these edges. The second transition shade, which is this one right here, and it is Mirror Check. I'm going to put it a little bit lower than the first transition shade. As you can see, this one is definitely more pigmented. It's like a darker version of the first shade, but leaning more peach. Going back a little bit with the first transition shade Already. Going with the third transition shade, and to create that depth, I'm going to go into this one right here, which is Matte Max. It's like a burgundy brown. And start stamping this right underneath those two transition shades. And bringing it all the way across. Going back with the second transition shade, Mirror Check, and I'm going right on top of that dark shade, Matte Max. Going back with Matte Max a little bit more, bringing it closer to those transition shades. Just very lightly blend upwards. Now going back with Already, the very first color. I'm gonna go right above that as well, just so we can bring that pink back. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease using my P. Louise base and my Colourpop E3 brush. So the first lid shade we're gonna be using is this one right here, which is Eyes Wide Strut. It's a pretty light pink shimmer shade. I'm gonna be using this on the front portion of the lid, and you guys, look how gorgeous that is. I didn't even have to put this on wet. I'm going to be bringing this shade almost halfway, just very lightly blending it out here. And for the rest of the lid, I'm going to be using this shade right here, which is called Chick Yeah. And it is like a beautiful pinky gold shade. It's kind of like that NARS Orgasm, but in an eyeshadow. The pigment on this is insane as well. It is gorgeous. You guys can see. I'm going to be mixing it just a little bit with the first shade so we can have that gradient. And now going in with Matte Max, the darkest shade, and fill the rest of the outer corner right here. And I'm using tapping motions, as you guys can see, so we can get the most pigment. And I'm blending the brown towards the lid shades very lightly, and then kind of winging this out. That is the eye look pretty much complete. We just got to do the lower lash part, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But now we're moving to the face. So the first thing that I have actually been using a couple of times and I've really been enjoying, but I did haul this recently, And this is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream Broad Spectrum SPF 30, which is amazing. Always have SPF in your daily routine. And this has hyaluronic acid and peptide complex. So this is what they were saying. It was very comparable to the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I will say it's not identical, but it's still really nice. And the scent is so nice. Like, I love both scents, but this one's so nice. They have a different texture to them. Like, the Charlotte Tilbury is definitely a lot thicker and you really don't need as much. But the e.l.f. one, I feel like you do need a little bit more to get that hydration that you want. It also dries down, I feel like. I do have that nice glow to the face, which is really nice and very comparable to the Charlotte Tilbury that I enjoy. And I do use this as a moisturizer and primer, since I feel like it does have some tack to it, which I think my foundation will adhere to it really nicely. Like I said, this is the very first time I'm going to be using this right here, which is the LA Girl Tinted Foundation. This is Buildable Natural Finish. I have heard great things about this, and this is in the shade Nude. I hope it's a good match. I got this online. I don't know, but I think it's gonna be okay. As you guys can see, I'm breaking out a little bit. Had some sweets this past weekend. It was my brother's birthday. So my skin is definitely paying for that. But yeah, this is the foundation right here. You get 1 fluid ounce, 30 milliliters. I think that's a decent size, especially for the price. I think I only paid like, I think it was like $8.99 or $7.99, somewhere around there. Not too expensive. I do like the applicator to this. It's very similar to the Tower 28 tinted moisturizer, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't used that one before, and I'm pretty sure this came out before the Tower 28 one. So who's duping who? But what can you expect? Literally every single company at this point like has the same of everything almost. Okay, I'm gonna use about that much. The shade looks kind of light. Let's see how well this covers, because I do have some breakouts. Okay, this shade is a little lighter than expected, but it's okay. Bronzer and all of that will fix it. But the coverage is really nice. It isn't full coverage, as you guys can see. You can still see like my breakouts and everything peeking through, but it does have some decent coverage. I do have a bit of a dry patch right here because I had a breakout, and it is kind of clinging to it just a bit. I did expect that. I'm gonna compare one side. So this is definitely a natural coverage. I really like it, but just because my skin is kind of like acting up right now, it's not doing it for me. But I'm gonna see if I can layer it, if it's buildable. Just a little bit more, especially on my cheek area. That's where I have the most redness. So this is 2 layers of the LA Girl Tinted Foundation on this side, and then this is without. I think it did a really great job at covering a lot of the redness. It did kind of cling on a dry spot that I do have right here because of a breakout, but I did have a lot of redness underneath my nose. As you guys can see, this side, it covered really well my cheeks as well. I think with the 2 layers, I think it did a really great job. It's still peeking through just a little bit right here, as I can see, but I think for an everyday tinted foundation, something super light and comfortable, I think this is really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and move on to concealer. For concealer, we are using an oldie but a goodie. I'm pretty sure you guys know what this is. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and this is in the neutralizer. So there's a neutralizer, lightener, and then there's like a whole range of like actual like colors like ivory, vanilla, all of that for actual like concealing. But I feel like the neutralizer, since I do have some redness, this does a great job at canceling that out and just really brightening the skin. And I love the formula. Not crazy about the actual packaging, but the product itself is amazing. A little goes a very long way. This is such a beautiful concealer, and it's super affordable. Drugstore. So I'm just highlighting the places that I need. And you guys can see it has a little bit of a golden undertone to it, and the lightener has a more pink undertone. I actually used to use lightener, the pink one, way back when I first started. That was the biggest fail. I kind of let the concealer sit just for a little bit so it can, you know, get a lot thicker, and you know, so it can place itself. And this is the Rare Beauty, I'm not sure what this is called, but this is like the concealer brush that she came out with. And now I'm just going to pat the concealer out and start blending it. I just feel like it just melts the concealer a lot better to the skin. And I'm bringing it lower towards my cheek since the foundation didn't really cover too much of that redness. So this is just going to help it a little bit. And like I said, this concealer is amazing. As you guys can see already, the difference. I've just been enjoying doing. So that is the concealer all blended out. As you guys can see, you need to check this out if you haven't. It's literally been out for years. Literally back in like 2015 I tried this out, maybe even 2014. It's still a ride or die, and I'm so glad that I picked it up again. I'm going to be mixing these two together. This is not a drugstore, but you can find it at Ulta, which is the Anastasia setting powder, loose setting powder, and this is in the shade Vanilla. And this is something new that I just hauled recently. This is the Jaclyn Hill Do Me Luminous Powder, and I'm going to mix these two. My friend, she says that she does this, so this is literally brand new. I have not tried this. It still has the sticker on it. Oh yeah. I have my setting powder right here. I'm gonna put my luminous powder. I don't know if this is how she does this. I never really mix powders, you guys, so this is a new one for me. I'm gonna go ahead and swirl this around. Make sure you blend out if you start creasing before you go and set. So what I like to do too is go on the back of my hand so I don't grab too much product, and just go in and tap it in, and then very lightly swipe, but more of a tapping motion. I don't know if I put enough of this luminous powder because it literally just looks like my regular setting powder. I mean, it's still really nice and super smooth. I don't know. I need to keep testing this out, maybe even by itself. But for right now, I really can't tell. To be completely honest with you, pretty sure it's still a beautiful product, but mixed, I don't know. Maybe I need to try with another powder, maybe even add some more next time. I'm gonna grab whatever's left on the lid and swatch it on my hand to see if I can see anything. Oh yeah, I can definitely see it on my hand. Probably didn't use enough, but I will keep testing it out. But it's still a really nice product, and this packaging is everything. Miss Jaclyn always kills it. Moving on to bronzer. This is one of my favorites. As you guys can see, it's very well loved, almost hitting pan, and this is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer in the shade 022 Sun Bronze. I also really enjoy the Maybelline one, the City Bronzer, but I'm giving that one a break because I use that one literally all the time. So I brought out an oldie but a goodie. I'm gonna use this. So you guys can see it's super pigmented. I'm gonna be using this. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. Super pretty, and this is in the shade Lola. And I know this isn't literally a drugstore, but you can find it at the drugstore. You can find this at Ulta. So that's why I put it in the drugstore category. Don't know how pigmented these are, so I'm gonna go ahead and tap that off. That's really pretty. I think it goes really well with this eye look as well. Wow, super pigmented. It does have that glow to it. I can't wait to use this a lot more, and I want to try more Nabla products. I think they have like different colors in these, and also like bronzers, so I really want to check those out. I do feel like I overdid it a little bit, so I'm just gonna go with my powder brush here and just kind of tone it down a bit. So I went ahead and did my lashes and mascara off camera, but you guys, these lashes, I forgot how dramatic they are. I haven't used Lily lashes in such a long time. I looked in my stash, and these are the 3D Mink eyelashes from Lily Lashes in the style Mykonos, and I forgot how dramatic these are. I haven't worn dramatic lashes in such a long time. I've been wearing like semi-dramatic in my opinion, but these are just like bam in your face dramatic. For the mascara, I used the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift in Ultra Black, and as you guys can see, it is decent. Like, it's not my favorite Maybelline mascara. I love the other one that just came out in the pink packaging. I mean, it didn't just come out, but it came out a while back, but it's definitely like one of my fave Maybelline mascaras from the drugstore. This one isn't bad. It's not horrible. It's not my favorite though. For the waterline, I used another Maybelline product. This is the Tattoo Studio Smoky Gel Eye Pencil, and I used a brown shade. Let's see if it has a actual name here. This is in 40 Smoky Brown. So it's one of these where you twist up, you can twist it down, and then on the other side you have like this little sponge applicator. I didn't utilize this side, obviously. I just put it in my waterline, but it's very creamy and pigmented. So went ahead and finished off like the lower lash line, like the two colors I used, pretty much the same ones that I used on the top lid. I used Already in the front portion, and then Matte Max towards the end, and that's pretty much it. So for the inner corner highlight, we're going to be using this one right here. It's like a pearly pinky gold shade, and it is called Make It Pop. It's really pretty. Bam! That is pigmented. Whoa. How come it didn't come out like that on this side? I went back and fixed it. It's like, you just need to be just as poppin' as the other side, okay? No excuses. This is really bothering me. Like, we're just gonna let it slide right now. We're using new face products. But anyway, let's go ahead and use this again, this Do Me Luminous Powder from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, and I'm gonna use this as a highlighter. I know it's not gonna be like the most blinding highlight. I mean, you never know, because Jaclyn always be popping with them highlights. So I'm gonna use this as a highlighter. Maybe it'll be a lot better. It's pretty, like, it's not super like blinding, which it's not meant to be because it is a luminous powder, which is supposed to be mixed, also set the rest of the face. It's not for highlighting purposes, but I think it's still really nice and subtle. That is the most subtle highlight to me personally that I've used in a hot minute. It's really pretty though. I'm not mad at it. For the lips, I just got this package in the mail today, and this is from Maybelline as well. They sent over their whole Zodiac collection, which is very exciting. They sent over all of the shades for the Superstay Matte Inks, which are their like liquid lipsticks. And I'm really excited to try this formula. This is their Superstay Ink Crayon. But like I said, they sent every single one from their Zodiac collection. I don't have the time to swatch every single shade because they're very pigmented and they stain, so I'm gonna be trying out one of these three. These are so pretty. I love this packaging. This one is Lead the Way Capricorn. Then we have Stay Exceptional Taurus, and then the last one here is Enjoy the View Pisces. So I don't know which one we should go for. This is like the straight up like terracotta nude. Then we have more of a nude, and then we have like a pinky nude shade. I'm between these two. I think I'm gonna go with this one because even though we do have pink, we do have a little bit of like warmthness to it, and I think this is gonna be really nice. So this is once again Lead the Way Capricorn. So you guys can see it's one of those like twist up ones, and then on the other side, when it starts to get dull, you can sharpen it, which is really cool. So far I really like the shape that it can be either used for a lip liner or all over the lips, and I'm going to use this all over the lips, obviously. has that vanilla scent to it. Wow, these are sugar fermented. Wow, it's very much like the Colourpop formula of the lippy sticks. I would say the matte formula, the one that I just used in one of my recent videos. I think it was the Cool Tone collection. Would you say it's the same as the packaging? I think it's a little bit darker than the actual packaging. Alright you guys, so that concludes this full glam beat on a budget for the holidays tutorial. I really love how everything turned out. I really enjoyed doing this tutorial for you guys. Like I said, glam on a budget because, you know, the holidays, you be spending a lot of money, not on yourself, on other people, but yourself as well, which, you know, you can't blame yourself for that because I'm someone that does that a lot. The Big Primpin palette, which I'll show you once again. Super pretty, nothing crazy. Obviously you got your warm browns and neutrals. This is a very warm tone palette though. And then you have a bunch of pinky peachy shades, which I think that makes this one a little bit more like festive and pretty and a little bit different, which I really enjoyed this palette. I love the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream, very comparable to Charlotte Tilbury. Not exactly the same, but if you guys can't afford Miss Charlotte Tilbury because she is pricey, this is a really great alternative. The Jaclyn Hill Do Me Luminous Powder, I'm still going to be giving this a try, mixing it with my powder, but using it as a highlight. It's really nice and subtle, gives a nice glow. It doesn't emphasize any texture or anything like that, which I really enjoy. So yeah, I will still keep testing this out, but it's really, really nice. The lip products, I love Maybelline lip products, so these are a go. The Nabla blush was really nice as well. This is the Skin Glazing, once again in the shade Lola. It's really pretty. I can't wait to play with this a lot more. Very nice as well, doesn't emphasize any texture, gives a nice glow. Then we have the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, a fave. So I absolutely love this bronzer, super affordable, and it blends really nicely. Once again, this is 022 Sun Bronze if you guys ever want to check it out. The LA Tinted Foundation, I do like it, but I do feel like it did cling on some of my dry patches, which, you know, I've been having breakouts, so I will still keep testing this out. I do see that it kind of clinged a little bit in this spot right here, which I never really have issues with, so I'm not sure if it was a foundation or the combination of these two, but I will still keep testing it out. It did cover a lot of the redness and it does have a decent natural coverage, so I will keep using this, but very, very nice. Concealer, the Age Rewind concealer from Maybelline is a cult favorite. You guys need to check this out. I feel like this is such a great concealer for any skin type, honestly. As you guys saw, that it just blends beautifully. The pigmentation is there. Amazing. Once again, this is in the neutralizer. So yeah, those were my thoughts on all of the new products that I tried, and obviously using some oldies and goodies. That was pretty much it, you guys. I hope you liked this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please subscribe. I really want to get to 1,600 by the end of the year. We are getting close, people. So it would be really amazing if you guys help me hit that goal for the end of the year. I will also leave all of my other social media links down below so you guys can follow me on there and support me as well. I will also leave all of my affiliate links down below if you guys want to support me. I don't make any money off of those codes, but it helps support me as a creator, so I would really appreciate it if you guys use those codes, or, you know, just follow me, because that would just mean the world to me. Once again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this glamour on a budget holiday tutorial and I don't have anything else to say except I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
It's you and only you.